And welcome back, everybody. Caring Senior Service. We want to welcome Dean White, the owner of Caring Senior Service, and a special guest today, Charlene Stout. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Michael.
Charlene's not only a resident, but she's also a customer. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and her life here in the village. But let's start off with, of course, Caring Senior Service. Just as our usual overdue kind of intro, what you guys do, not only in this community, but for people outside the community who need a little help around the house, being able to stay home instead of going to caring homes.
Exactly. You know, our tagline was want every senior to be healthy, happy, and at home. Mm-hmm. And we know that people age better when they're at home. Mm-hmm. When there is a time that an assisted living or care facility is important. But if we can keep you at home and provide a caregiver there, people often have a better life. Mm-hmm. And so a caregiver does many things. We can do anything from just appointments, taking somebody to the doctor. A caregiver can stay with them, take notes, and pass all that information on to the kids. A caregiver can do grocery shopping, can read through mail, but also can do some things around the house, as well as help shower, help bathe, help transition. It really becomes an added person that's in the house. We often tell people we really want the daughter to be the daughter, and the son to be the son, and the caregiver be the caregiver.
Right.
And it's really difficult when you get older and then you're realizing you're taking care of your parents as well as your own kids.
The kind of burden of responsibility can land on you in a very challenging way. Now, Charlene, you've lived in the Laguna Woods Village for how long?
Almost 20 years
Almost
now.
20 years. Now, when did you begin? Yeah, I imagine when you came here, you were very independent, but at some point you said, hey, I might need some help a little bit here and there. When did that happen?
Just fairly recently. We were in the Northridge earthquake, which is what brought us down here.
Oh, okay.
And it took us a few years to realize we needed to be in Laguna Woods. So we did. My husband passed away about 13 years ago, and I'm grateful that we chose this place to live. So much going on here.
Yeah. And so when you started saying, what were the things you needed a little help with and you said, okay, I think somebody like Dean White and their company can come in and kind of help out around the house with,
Now, I've been asking around, and everybody was talking about caregiving. But I saw him on your program here.
Well, there we go.
Exercise, your program came on, and I thought, I ought to listen to this. I'd done caregiving, and I was amazed. So I picked up the phone. I think I was the first one to call you, and he was out there the next morning. And the first thing he said is, why am I here? Well, I need a purpose. I've always known my purpose. And suddenly I don't. And so have I got something for you? And it's true.
We've done a lot of things. Shirley wants to do some home improvements. But it's really important that somebody looks through these things and meets with the contractors. She has 3 kids, but none of them live nearby.
Right.
And so there is a lot of weight that is just resting upon her. She even has a child that's in a different country. And so hard to get them to be here with mom when they have their own lives and other things that are happening with them too.
Right. Yeah, just that support around the house, and people that can give you here. No, this is what this means. Here's what we need to do with this. Kind of help you kind of navigate through those kind of things, like you said.
My daughter is in Germany, and she's not. Well, the other 2, Yosemite and Texas. So, they think I should go into assisted living. Go check those places out by Gate 3. No, that's not for me. But I really can take care of myself. I kept saying I don't need a caregiver, but I need someone here. And so when Dean came out, that's what I say. If I have a purpose and someone who takes care of all this other stuff, I can let go of it. And he stepped in. Now, this is the guy that owns the place. And he said, let me take care of you for now. And he has. I struggled with ID theft. Auto pay's not going through my computer and my phone. And he's gotten me through all of that. He's taken the load off my shoulders.
And then we have a caregiver named Cammie that comes once a week.
Oh,
and
she's amazing.
They have lunch together, but she also does things around the house that she needs, some organization. And as you can see, Charlene is totally fine on her own, but there's just these little tiny things that Cammie comes alongside and supports her.
Right.
And it's wonderful. She also has some great neighbors that have come along.
I do. Charles upstairs, I have a sign I put out, and he comes in and takes my trash up for me. And his wife, Susie, she's out there.
Dean, you're going to take out the trash?
I would be happy to, but it's wonderful. The community of Laguna Woods is that they do want to help each other. And that's part of Charlene's heart is how do we get more of us to help each other out
Yeah.
and do things in the community?
And one of the things I know you want to talk about a little bit is called Angels in Tennis Shoes. You used to do that here in the community. That was a program
I
that was
did.
going
In
on
my
here.
70s, we retired early because Mom lived with us, and we came down here, and I was bored to death. I'd always taught. So I went back and took classes, and the director there, the head of the department, said, you've got to write a project on the way you teach. I teach through teams and centers where you sit with a group of 4. And so, when I got through with that, I thought, I want to get this into schools here. And Jim Hamilton was up here at San Joaquin School. My neighbor, I went back and got my project, my master's, and she said, you gotta talk to him. And immediately he said, we need these for the kids that score below 25%. And we couldn't find a place except this long steps and hallway. And he says, this is all I got.
And that's what you took.
And that's where this is.
And you
Let
got
me show you.
some great pictures of you guys in action doing
Here
the
we
work here
are
with
on
the
the
kids.
steps. Can you see that?
Yeah, hold it right here, just like this. This is
Oh, that one I didn't have glued
So the
on.
Laguna Woods residents going to an elementary school and helping kids learn how to read and excel better in school. And so she has a couple, a whole bunch of these, and they were called Angels in Tennis Shoes. It's just one way that Laguna Woods residents can help the community.
And we had almost 100. I bought 100 of these little angels. This was their name tag, and on the back
Edna
was...
Latt.
Yeah, and they needed to know these things when they're going to work with me, so I didn't have to do any training or anything.
They're really the kindness of their hearts, and it's really amazing. When you put a need out there, people in the community do reach out.
Yes. Oh, I put notes in the Globe saying we need tutor mentors over here. We need some seniors, and they just began to call in. We had so many. They'd come for about an hour on the steps. Whoever got there first, the child could choose the book or the senior. And they got to be grandma and grandpa to these kids. And some kids needed that to be able to share things that were going on.
Yeah.
So
for you, Dean, when you meet someone like Charlene, who, like you said, isn't having any real big medical challenges, but just needs a little help around, how do you kind of work out, like you said, you have another person coming in, you're kind of doing some things. How does that work out? Does it kind of grow and evolve as you get to know Charlene and her needs?
100%. So part of her biggest needs is, first off, she want to do all these things, but it's really hard to trust the contractors, even though we have great people that are approved to come into Laguna Woods.
But you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. And so I contacted her kids and I said, hey, this is what we're doing. And we just slowed everything down and so that we could make a good decision together. The next thing is, Charlene does have a little bit of balance. Loneliness and dizziness are 2 things that Charlene struggles with and wants to help others with.
Overcome vertigo. Yes.
And we're there to help prevent things like a fall, which is a broken hip, a broken shoulder. My sister, who's 70, slipped and fell and broke her nose. We don't want those things to happen. If you have a caregiver nearby, or if she's not feeling strong that day and yet had a list of things to do, a caregiver comes alongside, and then we just quickly, max that time.
Right. Now, Charlene, is there also an assessment that kind of goes into your house about things that we want to remove or move around so that you can get around a little easier?
Where can we get rid of our stuff? That's huge.
One of the things that Charlene would like to do is have a collection of other Laguna Woods residents, groups of 4, and she said with groups of 4 we can do massive things. Who can cut hair? Who's good at taxes?
Right.
And how can we help
create
each
that network
other?
of people in this community?
And so we just want to put it out. If you're a Laguna Woods resident and you want to offer something, feel free to call our phone number at Caring Senior Service. I can connect you to Charlene, or we can find a way to make things so that you can help others in the community too.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I could use a haircut. Charlene and Dean, thank you guys so much for joining us here today. Caring Senior Service is the number to call to hook up with the volunteer opportunities, as well as if you need some help around the house. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Michael.
having us.
Thanks.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.